fight fans, I want to ask you guys something. Can Usman bounce back from this defeat? Can Kamaru Usman come back and not allow this defeat, this knockout, this devastating knockout, the fact that he lost his title, can he bounce back from that? Can he come back to his division, his welterweight division, and regain his championship back? My answer is I believe so. I believe so. I've mentioned this in a few videos back. I mentioned about what makes a great fighter. And I do feel that if you lost your undefeated record or you lost your championship and you come back and you regain that, I feel that makes you that much more better. I believe that puts you in the same category as George St. Pierre, as possibly John Jones, and as a Habib and all that stuff. Even though John Jones and Habib never did lose their titles and get it back, but George St. Pierre never allowed his loss to affect him and affect his career like we've seen so many others. Anderson Silva lost his championship, never got it back. Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell, Ronda Rousey, Anthony Pettis, the list goes on and on and on about great fighters who, once they lost their championship, never were able to regain that star status they once had. You know, be able to climb back on top of that mountain like they were able to be. And some fighters did. It's a very few small list. We've seen DC, lose the championship and regain it. We've seen guys like Randy Couture. Obviously, I just mentioned George St. Pierre. We've seen more than a few really good legendary fighters be able to get that championship back after losing it. So can Kamaru Usman do that? I strongly feel like he could. He was on his way from winning that fight against Leon Edwards. He was definitely on the track of winning it. He was definitely on track on just edging out that decision. It was not even a really close fight. That first round was not really necessarily like, he got blown out or anything. He just got taken down. Definitely went to Leon Edwards, but the rest of the fight, it was just all Kamaru Usman. And then just in the last 50 seconds, he does get dropped. But, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Leon Edwards did win. He got that victory, and he's a new champion. And it's all about this mentality of Kamaru Usman. Some people feel like, oh, well, once they take that away from you, you're no longer this undefeated monster, like this great, crazy fighter, like nobody can beat. It's impossible to beat you. And, let's not forget, Kamaru did lose before coming into the UFC. I believe he was either put to sleep or tapped out back in his early days. And he did not let that affect him, which is cool. But now, having all this pressure of people calling you the greatest of all time welterweight, having all this pressure of people saying that you're the pound for pound, having this pressure of saying you could be the greatest fighter ever because he wanted to go up 2 different weight classes to the light heavyweight and challenge for that title, because he already been steamrolling through his championship. But now this happens. And so a lot of questions start going through your mind, understandably. Am I as good as I think I am? Am I good as everyone says I am? And I believe he still is. I believe he definitely could get that victory. It's an unfortunate incident for him, unfortunate scenario for him, because it does happen. And that's what's the problem with fighting, that people don't believe it could happen. And you don't want to be negative, say, oh, I can never, negative, like, yeah, I could lose, or yeah, it might not be my night. No, of course not. You always want to be positive. Do your best to not allow a defeat to weigh on you and such. But at the same time, you want to be realistic that sometimes, it does happen. It's not impossible to get beaten. It can be possible. Nobody on earth is 100% unbeaten. Nobody on earth can be untouched. Sometimes you can either maneuver around where you're not challenging that person up, or you can leave the game a little sooner than you should have. Or it's just you go in there and you fight the best when you're at your best, and it happens. We've seen the best go at it. We've seen the best go down. We've seen Muhammad Ali go down. We've seen Sugar Ray Leonard. We've seen Tommy Hearns. We've seen Randy Couture, George St. Pierre. Everybody, the best of the best, has one time or another has tasted defeat and come back that much better. So, in my opinion, can Kamaru Usman come back and regain that championship? Absolutely. Is he going to be considered the greatest of all time in the welterweight? Probably not, just due to the fact that, George St. Pierre was able to defend his championship 10 times undefeated, stay on top 10 times, 100%. And he came close to losing a couple times. Johnny Hendricks, a lot of people felt like he should have lost. That head kick by Carlos Condit, a lot of people were like really edging, like, oh man, this could have been it, 100%. So is it possible? Sure. Can he? Is it possible 100% that he can, become considered the greatest of all time? Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, as far as a welterweight, but anytime soon, I don't think so. But as far as him regaining his championship, as far as him bouncing back, I do really strongly feel like he could, because he is 100% a truly great fighter, a truly Mount Rushmore of the welterweight division in the UFC. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Can he regain that status back? Or you think Kamaru Usman's career as a welterweight king is no longer there? That quite possibly this defeat might be a little more than he may be able to handle. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.